Don't you understand? I found a cure for the plague of the 20th century, and now I've lost it.
So I bet you think I'm going to talk about some more COVID lockdown stuff and the pandemic, and that beautiful voice that started off my episode here of Sean Connery is somehow related to that. Well, you couldn't be more wrong. Sorry to disappoint. I'm going to talk about things that have happened to us in our lives that, as we reflect back on them, we find it hard to believe that really happened. And as we get older, how we even maybe start to believe that something that really did happen didn't really happen. I was telling my husband the story of how something serendipitously happened with me when I was 25 years old, and it's always stayed with me. It's like the best story of my life that I could ever tell. And it was only because I was a young gal. I was only 25 years old. I was completely out of my comfort zone. And Sean Connery walks in with his wife to Chinois on Main. It was a restaurant in Santa Monica owned by Wolfgang Puck. And it was a really trendy spot. And this is the 80s. And I'm sitting there with someone that was much older than me, and he was always boasting about how he would go to the south of France and have so much fun with all these other ladies. And then suddenly those ladies walk in, take a seat to my left at the bar, and I've got Dick on the right side of me. And they're talking over me, and they're talking about their upcoming trip to Cannes and how much fun they're going to have. And remember last year? And, oh, Wendy, it's too bad you can't afford to go. I'm like stuck in the middle again. And suddenly, the one lady looks at me and goes, oh my God, look who just walked in, Sean Connery. And then the other one says, and right behind him is Roger Moore. Oh my God, 2 James Bonds. This is crazy. Well, Sean Connery and his wife made a beeline for me. They came up. They thanked me for the wonderful time they had a couple of nights prior and how grateful they were. And then Roger Moore, he started to wave to me from across the restaurant. And I waved back. Well, nobody could figure out what was going on. You know, it was like, whoa, the 2 girls that were like all so full of themselves 5 minutes before that weren't so full of themselves anymore. Or maybe they were, because they were now sitting with the girl that Sean Connery came up and personally thanked for the great time he had a few nights before. This is such a true story. And I never felt so awesome in my entire life, I tell you. You see, I held 2 jobs. I was a single mom. I had a 2-year-old little boy. And I worked by day as the assistant to Lloyd Zeiderman. He was the biggest business manager for entertainers on the East and the West Coast. You know, they probably wrote a book about the guy. And then during the weekends, I would manage his girlfriend Kathleen's restaurant called Manja on Pico in Los Angeles, which was a super trendy Italian hangout. So that's how I knew Sean Connery and his wife and Roger Moore was from the restaurant. And I had taken care of them just a few nights before. So for Sean to walk up and do that to me, along with his wife, who was so gracious and so beautiful, it was just like, thank you. That was sent from heaven, and it was perfect timing. And even today, as I sit here and I recount that story, I still can't believe that happened. It's almost like I'm telling a tall tale, but yet it's a true one. Do you have a tall tale that you tell? I think everybody's got a tall tale. So go to my website, wendicooper.com. Let me know, and maybe we can feature it, talk about it. And make sure to listen to my other podcast where I have conversations with remarkable people over 50. It is called The Wendy Cooper Show, Speaking of Age. Everywhere you get your podcasts. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow.